So, for everybody who follows the Raising Taylor's Instagram page, I went ahead and put a picture of the thumbnail that you guys have seen on this live feed. That's kind of how I'm trying to tell people I'm going live or got a new video, and I can just do that with the PhotoGrid app and make my own stuff. So, I try to make it pretty. I try. Anyways, thank you everybody for joining me, whether it's now in the moment or if it's later, because we all got to sprinkle our entertainment in where we can get it. I understand. It's why I love YouTube. You can pause, you can keep your place, and you can go back to it whenever you want. It's better than TV. I love it. So anyways, thank you for joining me. So today's topic is about the Taylor family vacation. So there was a whole week I did not film for Raising Taylors. And I was trying to decide, should I film a little bit on vacation or should I just actually have a vacation? And I decided to actually have a vacation, and I would just take pictures like normal and put them on the Instagram. And that was because some of these moments are too great to miss. You cherish what you have instead of wishing you had done something. Okay, so y'all are gonna laugh, maybe not, but I had sat and made my list of everything I wanted to talk about for family vacation because so much happened. First of all, if you're new to this channel, hello, welcome. My name is Sarah Taylor. I am a wife and mother of two. I am very new to marriage. I've been married for 2 years, and I am starting a business, and this is just how I manage it all. So if you like this video, I would love it if you gave me a thumbs up. If you want to see more of what I have, please subscribe and enjoy the ride, because that's what it's about, and coffee. Enjoy the coffee. Okay, so I've got my little paper here, so if I look down, that's what I'm looking at. Everything for this vacation was nothing like I've ever experienced before. We've never had to pack so much. We decided we were going to take our car instead of renting a car, which was a mistake. I'll get to that in a minute. We decided we were going to get all our clothes in one bag. Mine, my husband's, my daughter's, and my son's in one bag. I made it happen. It's incredible. It's the best packing hack I have ever done. I never even found it from anywhere, so nobody else has done this, or if they haven't shared it. And I think it's genius. It's how I'm traveling forever now. We stayed in a house with the rest of the Taylor families. It was like a group of 20. All of us stayed together in one house. We were right on the beach, so we went to Gulf Shores, Alabama. Wonderful place. I had never ever done things like this before. Growing up, we didn't do family vacations. We just didn't. Our family fun days were Six Flags. So I understand why that was a thing, but we were right there on the beach. We had okay, sorry, I had to read here. There was an issue with the stream, so I'm hoping all of this was still in there. It says it still caught the 4 minutes. Either way, and it didn't break our budget at all. I had some vegan meals even while I was there, and we went out to eat, I want to say twice. One night was husband and wife date night, and the other one was with family. We went to a place called Floribama. Not bad, but with it being so close to the ocean, everything is seafood this and seafood that, and that's fine. I can still manage. So I'm just going to go ahead and start at the top of my list here, and it says how we packed. I got all our clothes into one bag. I used an extra large Space Saver bag, and then we sucked all the air out of it with a vacuum cleaner, and it fit in our extra large duffel. And I still had this much space in the top of the duffel, so I could fit all 4 of our rolled up towels. They weren't beach towels because we don't go to the beach. We don't have beach towels. We just used our regular old towels. Put those in there. I was able to fit 2 pairs of slippers in addition to that, and something else for the kids. something else, and it fit in the duffel, no problem. So if you're a family that needs to try and utilize your travel space as much as possible, get a space saver bag. Even if you only have like one kid, or it's just you and your husband, or your wife, and you need to try and fit everything in one bag, but you still want to keep your stuff separate. Those packing cubes are nice, but the space saver bags where you can just smoosh them flat and it does not put wrinkles in your clothes, I thought that was incredible. You can just lay them on top of each other and they're waterproof. I was really, but the space saver bag, worried about our stuff getting damaged because for a while we were considering using a rental car for travel, and we were looking into doing a truck. And I was like, well, we need to make sure these clothes are waterproof because I bet you it's going to rain. And it did every day. So I knew that traveling back, they are waterproof. So I love those. We did end up using our own car because the cost of renting something for that long and that distance for the size we would have needed was about $600. Some were seven. Uh, that would have been a very painful card swipe because that's like half our rent. Not to be given all my personal info, but that's what that equated to in our brain, and we just couldn't do that. We're like, we'll just put the miles on the car. Well, that brings me to the car. So we were in Alabama from Saturday. It was originally supposed to be from a Saturday to a Saturday, right? So full 7 days. We left at 3 in the morning on Saturday. We drove all the way. We did a straight through drive. So that was a 14 hour car ride. Ouch. But we did it. We did it. We had the car loaded the night before. I had stuff that I had already done. So all we had to do was, I had the kids sleep in their travel clothes so I could put them from one seat to another. My husband and I, we just put on some fresh clothes. He took a shower and we got in the car and we left. I had packed lunches the night before. I had packed car snacks the night before. The clothes were already packed. Everything we wanted to take on this trip was already in the car. The only thing, well, I take that back. I didn't put food in the car, but I packed them in the lunch cooler. The only things we had to bring with us were our phones, the charger, the cooler, and then we had to, I think we had like an extra, our pillows. Like my husband and I, we had a blanket for us, but there was an extra pillow floating around for the kids, and those were already in the car. So there was very little for us to do in the morning. We woke up at like 1:30, left the house by 3, and that's after stopping on the road. Like we were on the highway by 3. So, short story long, taking the car, when it was time to come home the following Saturday, we had car trouble. And it was sudden car trouble. I don't mean like we knew we had pre-existing issues before we went. I mean, we got stuck in a Sonic drive-thru. It wasn't the battery. We literally stopped for a treat along the way. And we were 4 hours, 15 minutes from home. So we were in Tennessee, and we pulled into a Sonic and had our treat. Everybody cooled off, with something nice. We go turn the car on, and the car doesn't turn on. It's like 94, 95 degrees. So we pop the hood, try to figure out what's going on, because we're still getting lights, we're still getting radio. The car won't turn over. There's no oil in the engine. Now, we had no signals on our dashboard telling us we didn't have oil. We had no warning of engine trouble, no warning of things getting hot, nothing. So, and it wasn't. We could still touch it and it was fine. But we check and there is zero oil in the car. There was no oil leak either, because there was oil when we left. There was no sign of us losing any while we were on vacation either. So, we're stuck. We call for some help. Christopher's parents were so helpful. They helped arrange for a tow truck to take it to a dealership. They helped arrange for a hotel for us to stay at because we're stuck at this point. They helped arrange for an Uber to come pick us up that was big enough for all four of us plus our stuff because we had to take it to the hotel. And it's a really short time frame to load that car to actually get the Uber running, otherwise he loses his booking. So that was a scramble. But my husband tried putting oil in the car. He bought like $40 worth of oil, put it in the car, and now it would turn on. But the moment he put it in gear, it would die. And it started rolling down in the back of the Sonic. So we had to push it back into a drive spot. And at this point, it is now very late on Saturday. We get to our room, we sleep, we get some food because we had to order. By this point, we've lost food that we're taking back home because it was sitting in the heat for so long. So that was frustrating because I needed those groceries to come back home with. So now it is, let's say it's like late Sunday, right? Because we then find out the dealership can't even look at the car until Monday. My husband has to be back at work on Monday. Well, we have no choice but to say, sorry, I can't come in. I'm in Tennessee, I'm stranded. So we do that, make that arrangement, and we are now at Monday. I'll just jump to Monday. That's how we spent our Father's Day. It's on Sunday in a hotel room playing board games, but whatever. On Monday, we then get a call from the dealership, and they gave us a long list of things that need to be done to the car, and they were saying half of them are under warranty and the other half are not. Well, they weren't very clear on the stuff that needed to be done that wasn't under warranty. And what's frustrating is that they were just giving us prices of stuff without even looking at the car yet. That was so frustrating. So by this point, we're trying to figure out our next move because they said that they could have the car fixed for us by Tuesday at 5 o'clock if nothing goes wrong because they have all the parts. And we could attempt to take this car back home to St. Louis, but there's a chance it could take a month for them to fix the car because they may not have all the parts. So they were trying really hard to get us to stay there. And that is so frustrating because, you know, we're at their mercy and we just need to get home. Okay, so then my dad calls and is like, I have a solution to your problem. I'm coming to get you. You don't have a choice. Me and your grandmother are already on the way. We have the Expedition here. We're going to rent a trailer. We're going to put the Equinox on top of the trailer. We're going to take it back home so it can get serviced at home where you guys will be better taken care of. Well, that was the best thing that he could have recommended. Both my parents thought that was a great idea. Both Christopher's parents thought that was a great idea because then we're not spending more time in a hotel. Chris could get to work. We could arrange rides for him to get into from work while we're waiting for the car to get fixed. This was the best idea. So we spent a very long time on Monday driving from Tennessee all the way to home. So, that day. But now it is Tuesday. So Christopher's at work. The Chevy dealer in St. Louis is checking over the car. Turns out all the repairs that were needed to be done to the car, majority of it was engine work, were 100% covered under warranty. And that list of stuff they said that they told us would cost us $1,058 were recommended maintenance. They weren't like required. It was like, oh, let's put new tires on the car or something goofy like that. Things that I don't really need to get me home, but they wanted to make it seem like I needed to do that to get it off the lot. And it was frustrating. So the other part is that the St. Louis dealer was like, we also can get you a loaner. A way to get around and where we need to go. It was necessary to charge us for a second one. Thank you. So, give me 1 second. Awesome. So then, The car is taken care of. It drives like new now. So thank you, St. Louis Chevy, for taking care of my family. But I no longer feel comfortable taking my own car on long distance traveling because that was a hell and a half. So, a new thing to add to our travel budgets is to make sure we have a rental car, because if that were to happen, it wouldn't have been our problem. That's what it costs to get the car back home, which is like pennies compared to what it costs to fix the engine stuff. So, anyways, people out there traveling with your families, really, really look into renting a car. You don't want this to happen to you. The house we stayed at was amazing. It was amazing. There were 20 of us all together. Everybody felt comfortable, and nobody ever felt like they were stepping on each other. It was just great. I recommend it. Staying in a house, maybe not the same house we were at, because everybody's different and they need different things. Maybe not everybody wants to be on the beach, but it was wonderful for what we needed. The next thing I want to talk about is the house prep. What I had to do, or felt like I had to do, to make sure my house was okay to be by itself for a week. There's some stuff on here that seems really crazy to some people, and some are gonna be like, yes, I agree with you, I've been there, I've done it. I hate coming home to a dirty house after vacation. I hate it. I absolutely hate coming home and it's like, why didn't we take out the trash? Now my house reeks. So I had to have a very clean house. So I did my whole dailies and weeklies, and I did a couple extra detail things. Cleaned some baseboards. I made sure that all our trash was outside. I did that. I made sure we had no laundry in the washing machine either. Yes, dear. What? Oh, I don't see it, honey. I don't see it. He's looking for his. You ruined my backdrop.
Alright.
Oh, man. Real life. This is my mattress and the cover to the mattress. This is why I had my blanket. It is so much better. Oh, so bad. He ruined. Okay. Okay. Whatever. Mom life. Unedited. So, the garden was a big deal. We thought we had set our sprinklers up for automatic so that it would just water the grass while we were gone. I had made sure the grass was cut. I can't even. Okay, YouTube family, now y'all know. Now you know. So, I had cut the grass, and I felt really good after doing it, and I was running while doing it. Ooh, I was exhausted. I think when everything was said and done, I got about an hour and a half of sleep because I went to bed at like 11:30, midnight, and we woke up at 1:30. So that was a long day for me, and I did majority of the driving because I just wanted to get there. I didn't want to keep stopping and switching and stopping and switching. I just wanted to get there. So, yeah, we did that, and let's see, house prep. Oh, had to go through my refrigerator and make sure there wasn't going to be a food that was going to expire. So my grocery shopping for that week prior was really particular. I did a lot of shelf cooking that week. I did buy perishables, but I made sure that we went through them. There were a couple items I had to throw away, and it killed me. It was like half and half. I knew that wasn't going to make it. We finished up all our, we ate all the eggs, the cheese. I had like a cube of that much cheese left. I hate throwing it away, but I had to. So, there's some minor things like that, but that was really about it. The cats. We have 2 cats here. We were thinking, like, do we board them or do we pay somebody to come stay at our house and take care of our babies? I am so thankful to my Aunt Patty, who is my godmother. She lives like 2 minutes from me, and she was so happy to stop by my house every day and feed the cats. So thank you, Aunt Patty, for helping feed my babies. we just moved them upstairs and made everything easy for her to take care of them. My cats were so fine. You know, they weren't evil. They didn't come back and do evil things to the house while we were gone. So there was that. And I'm going to talk about what husband-wife time was like at the beach. This is where I struggle because I am a control freak, and I'm going to talk about that in a later video today. Husband-wife time, we got to do one day of. And the reason that was because there was another toddler in the house, and we didn't want to overwhelm the grandparents with having to watch so many kids all the time. So she told us, she goes, we'll watch, you guys can go have a day, you can do them the same day, you can divide it up. So we did our one day of husband-wife time, and it was fun. We went to this place called The Hangout. We got to try different drinks. I had vegan food. It was amazing. This kale and quinoa salad and French fries. I love French fries. And then the drinks were wonderful. I think we each had a drink called Surf's Up. Beautiful. It's on the Raising Taylor's Instagram page where it's got like 3 colors to it. I got to eat a tropical snow, and I'm going to talk about that in my later video today about getting to know me, because that is a huge part of my childhood, and I got to relive that on vacation. And I also took pictures of what our snow cones looked like. They're on the Raising Taylor's Instagram page as well. It was amazing. We got to have some sibling time. Sibling time is, Christopher has 3 brothers. 2 of them, one's engaged and one is married. And we got to spend time together with how do I explain this? The grown-up time, but it was still sibling time. So like my brother-in-laws, Sam and Ryan, and then I'm just going to say wives because it's so much easier. They're wives, and then we all got together. We got to eat at a place called the Original Oyster House. I think that's what it was. I ate salad bar. It was delicious. And everybody had different food. I think they ate alligator. Wonderful drinks. And we went to a horror-themed escape room. Not the best. I did take a picture of like their sign in the beginning, because it is not allowed to use your phone while you're in there. So I obeyed the rules. I was freaking out though, because there's this clown that they were gonna try and scare us with, and I don't do clowns. Again, I'm gonna talk about this in the getting to know me picture, in know me video. But the one thing I can say is that they were very kind and sensitive to things like that. I said, please don't put me in handcuffs, because that was their deal. You have to be blindfolded and handcuffed and put into this room. And I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do that. Please don't do that to me. And they're like, because you told us, we won't do that to you. We won't go out of our way to scare you. Normally when you have children, we don't scare you, but if you hadn't said us, we would have. So thank you for letting us know ahead of time, because that could have caused a problem. And I'm like, thank you. So other than that, we were not impressed with it. It started out fun, but there really were just too many people for that small of a room. We did the voodoo room. They had 3 other rooms there, and we're going on. One was a doll room, and that was a no bueno. No bueno for a lot of people. Another room was the zombie room. There was 1 or 2 other people who were also not okay with that. So we all did the voodoo room. And the room didn't scare me. It was just, we were supposed to have flashlights that worked, and they didn't. So it was really difficult. We were also put in there with 4 other people. We had no idea who they were. They were kind of obnoxious. We think they had more to drink than we did. So all in all, it ended up being $25 a person, so $50 a couple. That's pretty expensive. But we still had fun being together. I just don't know if I would do that escape room again. I know my husband wouldn't. He was so mad because he loves escape rooms. He says the ones in St. Louis are 1,000 times better. So check those out if you're ever in St. Louis. what we ate and what I ate, because I am transitioning into a vegan lifestyle, and I didn't ever have to compromise on that. I always say that I allow myself grace when I'm traveling, and that I do vegetarian when I travel, because sometimes that's easier. Otherwise, you turn into a carbaholic, or a fried carbaholic, and you eat nothing but french fries. I can't do that. My body really does not work well with that much grease, and I need to be functioning for my family. So I allow myself grace of vegetarianism. However, I've learned a lot of good things along the way. Um, we got to experience what it was like to cook for 20 people. Now, I'm not saying I did that every night. What we did is each night a family would volunteer to cook for the family, something from like our home and to share with others. I wanted the first night. I was so excited to do this. I love cooking, I love sharing our experiences with others. And my husband picked out something, and I'm telling you, it was true Taylor family my house moment, because we'd never cooked this meal before. We were like, oh, this looks good. And it was incredible. Now, it was not vegan or vegetarian friendly, but that's okay. I'm cooking for a family of carnivores. You got to do the things. It was a tropical chicken breast and fruit salsa, and I bought 18 full-size chicken breasts, and I made a fruit salsa. It was very fresh, very appropriate for the occasion, and it was just us trying something new, something fresh, and that it's whole and it's clean eating. It was just perfect. I would be happy to share that recipe with others if I can get like some feedback from the community, and you let me know if that's something you'd be interested in knowing about. I would be more than happy to do that video, because it was a huge hit. Huge hit. So I can do that. What I ate, I included in our shopping budget, because the day after everybody got there, so we arrived on Saturday, now it is Sunday. All the women from the families, we went to Walmart, because it's the easiest place to go. And we just shopped, and we got what we needed. So I got plenty of things to feed my family throughout the week, and things for me to eat. I had food to take home, but there were things I was planning on taking home, and unfortunately some of them didn't make it because of the car, but they would have, and it all fit within my budget. So I was really impressed. For $189, and this includes food items and non-food items, like I needed to buy more shampoo, I'll get to that in a minute, and feeding a dinner of 20 for $189 for a whole week. So I did incredible. I felt really proud of myself. I went there with a list, but you got to be flexible with lists, because it's not my normal Walmart, and they were packed. This place, imagine Black Friday at Walmart, but all summer. It was nonstop. I've never seen that many lanes open in a Walmart before, and constantly going, like lines into the clothes. It was just one right after another. It was insane. Insane. So that's what we did. I had meat substitutes that lasted me all week. I had that fruit salsa was amazing. I had I made a dinner for myself for Saturday night, because Saturday night, everybody's tired and traveling. They ordered all pizza, and we were like, Sarah, what do you want us to get for you? I'm like, I've already got it. I made a naked burrito bowl. So amazing. So I had already done that. I planned ahead. I had a lot of fresh fruit. Almost every morning I had fresh fruit, and that's just transitioned into home. I didn't really do any sandwiches. I normally do wraps for lunch at home, but I felt like it was kind of difficult, because if you can imagine how many groceries we all brought home after doing that much shopping, it was intense. I should have taken pictures. Um, I just did a lot of that, and normally when I have meals, it's at least 2 servings, sometimes 4, and I can just space it out. So it was really affordable for me to eat on vacation. Um, What we learned and what we learned we didn't need and what we still had to buy. We learned we didn't need to bring things like toys. We did not need to bring things like stuffed animals because the kids ended up going to Build-A-Bear anyways. Yep, that was fun. And I'm being serious, that really was fun. So we learned we didn't really need to bring toys. We didn't really need to bring activities. And I was like, let's bring some beach activities. And nope, didn't really need to bring any buckets or shovels because they got a new set from Grandma and Grandpa while we were there. So we brought a kite, but we probably didn't need to bring two. Um, the double it rule did not always work for this. uh, don't need a double kites, but you did need a double shampoo. I ended up having to buy some while I was there because the algae that was floating in the ocean water was intense the first day and it kept getting stuck in my daughter's hair. So that took more shampoo than we thought to try and get that out. Um, we tried to plan ahead on things to bring for the house. Like I brought some cheapo dish soap. I brought some laundry detergent because we knew there would be a washer and dryer there. What we have learned we didn't need as many clothes as we thought. Now I brought like 7 outfits. There was another family that brought 10. I was like, we'll just wash them. Okay, we spent most of our time in our beach clothes. I'm like, I should have just spent money on swimsuits. I should have. I brought one swimsuit. By the way, one piece is for the sand and the beach and the ocean. Not your friend. Nobody cares what you look like on the beach. Just buy the 2-piece. And this is coming from a very self-conscious woman who has her pregnancy battle mommy scars. And I would not have cared. I would have rather have had the 2-piece so it's easier to get everything off of me and be done with it. So, we wish we didn't bring so many clothes. We wish we would have just saved that money instead of buying the stuff here because it was actually the same price. I thought it was going to cost more, and it doesn't. It was the same price. The cover ups there were the same price here in St. Louis. So we would rather have spent the money on stuff there. Um, so maybe trying to buy so much before and then take it with you is just not the best opportunity. Or best choice. Just we would rather have been like, let's go get a couple new shirts from the gift store because they have tons. It just would have been so much better. Um, but bringing your own soap and things like that, that's easy to take back and forth because I needed them back home. You know, I thought we would use almost an entire container of laundry soap, but we didn't. We probably could have. Um, but I needed it for home. I was literally out of dish soap the night we were going to leave. Uh, and I knew I was going to need that when we came back home. So things like that, that's perfect to plan ahead for. What we learned we did not need. We did not also need to bring so many board games. We did not need to bring so many because we ended up buying a new one while we were there. And again, same prices here and there. We probably should have just done it. So, when it comes to packing the car, I feel like the way we traveled was perfect because I had lunches set up and I was like, here's your bag, and we're done. Like, that was perfect. Like, always pack your lunches so you're not having to make so many stops. Pack your snacks. Shop your pantry before you shop the stores. That worked really well for us. So we learned that's what we'll be doing. We still had to buy shampoo and conditioner, sunglasses. Had to buy those still. We brought tons of sunscreen, and it's the same price there as it is here. So even if you don't have it, you could just buy it. Things we still had to buy were oh, I had it and I lost it. It'll come back to me. Things we didn't need to bring: our tennis shoes, our house shoes. Didn't need to bring them. it was basically like this. My husband saw a sign that says, if you're not barefoot, you're overdressed. Or, yeah, if you're not barefoot, you're overdressed. And that's really what it was. Like, everybody was always in their bare feet walking around because the sand was real. Um, we the beach. The beach was great. I got to experience my first ever sandcastle. It was cool. I've never made one before in my life, so I'm just like this big kid sitting in the sand, and my daughter's next to me, and we're just building sandcastles. I'm like, ooh, this is cool, and then I start making it look like it's like some little small city, like in Star Wars. I'm like, ooh, I made Tatooine, y'all. Like, I got all nerdy with it. It was just great. It was so much fun. So sandcastles were great. I got to sit outside smelling that ocean air. Was incredible. Incredible. They went crab hunting at night. Ooh, creepy. 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 Cool. From a distance. They can bring me up the buckets and show me, but I'm not touching it. I did try to go out there one night while it was dark, and it is dark, y'all. Like, the stars were beautiful, but it was dark, and I can't see in the dark. I really can't, and I can go into a panic attack, and that's just not fun for anybody. But they went crab hunting. Of course, they put the crabs back. Everybody was just trying to catch them and see who's got the bigger crab, and it was cool because everybody on the beach did this thing. I didn't know that was a thing. But at night, you see all the white lights on the beach, people looking for crabs. A lot of like sand designs. They made a giant dolphin in the sand. They did like an alligator or something. Big fun stuff. Something we learned we should bring. I knew what it was. We had a canopy, one of those foldable canopies. We should have brought one. We didn't even think about it. We should have brought our canopy. So bring your canopy to the beach. Really easy to take up and down, and be ready for them pop-up storms because they do happen. The place we went to Build-A-Bear, it was this, I'm going to call it a boardwalk. It was a place called The Wharf, and I think it was in Orange Beach. And it was really cool. The kids got to go to Build-A-Bear. Abigail got to build her own Pikachu. Jackson picked out a Toothless from How to Train Your Dragon, which I'm very jealous of. I love Toothless. Thumbs up if you like Toothless. And then our niece, who was not there, she needed to take a nap because we had the toddlers sleeping in the same room, and that can be challenging. So she got to stay at home with her parents, and she got to sleep, and then they got to sleep. So she was brought back a Twilight Sparkle My Little Pony. And you want to talk about what an experience it is to be at Build-A-Bear. I haven't been at Build-A-Bear since I was like 11. Now I'm there as an adult with my children. I did not know what kind of experience Build-A-Bear gives to their guests, because that's what I felt like. I felt like a guest. I didn't feel like a customer. It is so cool to see how these children connect with their, I'm calling them stuffies, with their stuffies. They have the heart ceremony. You take them over to the station. It's this like air that comes out and makes them like all washed, and then they can name their stuff. And of course, Abby's like, look at all the accessories, and I'm like, no, you got the Pikachu. Let's roll. Let's go, because this took a long time. A very long time. So it was just really cool. So I'm really glad I got to have that experience with the kids. So if you're looking for a place that you kind of want to have a fun family moment, I would say spend your money at a Build-A-Bear. That was fun. That was fun. This was really more of a grandparent moment because Grandpa got involved and was just like, "You want to go to Build-A-Bear?" And what kid's gonna say no, So we ended up finding them at a Build-A-Bear, and Abby's just holding her Pikachu skin. And we're like, "Well, you can't just get one. We gotta go get the other ones." And Jackson was with us, and he picked out his Toothless, and he's never seen How to Train Your Dragon. He was just like, just loving it with his cheesed up smile, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. So the last thing I'm going to talk about, because I've been running my mouth for a minute, excuse me. Coffee is life. is homeschooling. I did pack Abigail's school books for this trip. I felt like it was still important for her to maintain that thought, and it was not all the time. It was like we did maybe like 4 days, and she would spend like an hour or two for those 4 days. Easy stuff. And it was things like read aloud to me, and then let's go over the comprehension of the chapter. She had finished her book, Dork Diaries, the first book for Dork Diaries. She was so excited about it, but she had never ever had to explain a beginning, middle, and end of a story, and explain the main characters, and explain why a symbol was put in a place. And while she's going into the third grade, she is starting state testing this year. And as much as I hate that and I think it's unfair, I don't ever want her to feel like she can't do something. So we practice at home. That's really the core behind our homeschooling. I don't sign up for a program. I don't take her to tutors. I don't buy expensive books. I just try to be supportive, and I work through these problems with her. Now, sorry, I got a note on my phone telling me I got 15% battery left, but doesn't matter. So we did some math. We really reviewed the math, ways to multiply. Learned 4 ways how to do multiplication. We started Alice in Wonderland, and we had to do, she read 2 chapters, and what she reads, we then talk about, and we go through each one. If she can't tell me the story, I make her reread it. And I think that's totally fair. She loves this book. We also did, I'm trying to think. I don't think we did any science, which it would have been a perfect place to do science, but to be honest, I was having a hard time juggling time with Jackson, motherhood, and homeschooling and everything. I really struggled with that this trip. So I didn't have an opportunity to do the science, but we definitely hit on math, handwriting. Abby loves handwriting. She's really getting into cursive. And we hit on Alice in Wonderland. She also had a list of vocab. I gave her 5 words for vocab. And of those 5, there were 5 of her 25 words for spelling. Her 25 words for spelling, 5 of them are bonus. The other ones are mandatory. Now, I put spelling words. I normally have a list that her mom gives me when she sends her to our house for summer. I did not have one this year. So I'm just pulling them out of the books that she's reading, making it all come together. So she had those to work on. And what she'll do is she'll write those 5 times, and then we practice them. For her math, we just did a lot of drills, because she is going to have a test where she has 10 questions that she can work out on paper and show me her work. And then she has 5 where I then take the paper and we do a verbal test where I'll say, what is 2 times 2? And she needs to tell me. Now, of course, I'm not trying to break her down or make her feel terrible, but that's what I can do. That's what I can do from home. So, and it's working. She feels so good about herself when she does this. So, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here. I think this is the longest video I've ever done in my life, but I needed to sit down and talk about this with you because I've been absent. So, thank you so much for joining me and sticking to the end. Even if you're sprinkling it in here and there, thank you so much for being a part of my YouTube family. And once again, if you wanted to see any of the pictures I was talking about from our trip, they are on Raising Taylor's Moments Instagram account. If you would like to see a cook with me or learn about that tropical chicken and fruit salsa that I made on the trip, please leave it in the comments below. I will get on the computer tonight and start reading comments from all videos and learning how to answer those. Because it's really, I can't do that from my phone for some reason. I have to get on the computer. So I'm going to do that. Thank you so much for joining me, and you guys have a blessed day.